What up, everybody? It is iPad Beatmaking here today, and we are going to be talking about a super exciting workflow that I've just discovered, and that is how to use the Launchkey 4 with Cubases in HUI mode. So this is a total different dimension from the MIDI Learn that you've seen on different apps or even in Logic Pro for iPad. This completely takes it to another level, and the best part is you can do this on the iPhone, iPad. You can use a Launchkey 25 mini all the way up to a 61, or in this case a 49, and the workflow is just really incredible. But before we dive into this setup and how cool it is, let's take a moment to talk about Cubases. If you're new to it, Cubases is a powerful digital audio workstation, or DAW, designed specifically for mobile devices like iPad, iPhone, and Android. Now, it's similar to having a full recording studio in your hands. With Cubases, you can record, edit, mix, and produce professional quality music, all from the comfort of your mobile device. It's perfect for musicians, producers, and creators who want to make music on the go. Now, if you've been subscribed to this channel for a while, you know that I am no stranger to all the different workflows that we have on iOS, but I don't usually dive deep into Cubases because I just had never really gotten to it. I've done comparison videos in the past to things like Audio Evolution Mobile, but for me, when I decided, you know what, let me take a break from the iPad when I'm traveling, let me just focus on making music on the iPhone, I realized we didn't really have too many DAW options on the iPhone itself. Yeah, we have Logic for iPad, but what about iPhone? GarageBand, I mean, it's okay, it's a good free app, but honestly, Cubases had all the tools that I needed. One thing I like about it is it's really intuitive, so whether you're a beginner or seasoned pro, you can just jump right in and create without feeling overwhelmed. And of course, it's able to host AUV3s if you're on iOS, audio effects, MIDI effects, all that kind of stuff. You already know that's stock and standard with any DAW that I'm going to recommend. But what I didn't know is how powerful it is when you use it with the HUI feature. So if you're using Novation Launchkey 4, it'll let you control your tracks, mix, record automation, all directly from the controller, which is really cool. So I highly recommend you check out Cubases if you are using the Launchkey 4. And if you do not have a Launchkey 4, I recommend everyone grab this MIDI controller because it can just be used for everything. On desktop, pretty much every major DAW has a script for it, which gives it a lot of power. And on iOS, it is finding more and more ways into my workflow with different apps, which is incredible. Now, so far, you've heard me mention HUI several times, and if you're wondering what that is, it's basically a way to control your DAW, in this case we'll be using Cubases, directly from your MIDI controller. Think of it as turning your Launchkey into a powerful command center for music production. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to set everything up and how to use a Launchkey to control Cubases. And this is really special because usually this kind of tactile control is only reserved for the desktop experience, but in this case, we've got a mobile app that's able to really take advantage of this powerful controller. So with all that said, let's get started. Okay, so this is surprisingly simple. All we're gonna do is on our top right, hit setup. We're gonna go to the MIDI tab. And then we're gonna hit Mackie Control or HUI. Now, every version of the Launchkey 4 is gonna have 2 in and 2 out ports when you're hooking it up via the USB. One of them is going to be a MIDI in and MIDI out port, and the other one's going to be a DAW and DAW out port. The MIDI one is really used to transmit your notes, things like that. And when you use the DAW port, that is where the HUI and all that's going to happen at. So what we're going to do is simply connect Launchkey Mark 449 or whatever your version of the Launchkey is, .out. First option is going to be Mackie. We're going to toggle that to HUI. So we're just going to click it again. And now it's on HUI mode. And then we're going Launchkey 49 DAW in. And as soon as we hit this in HUI mode, you'll see this immediately change. Now that we put it in HUI mode, it instantly changed. Very cool. That's it. You don't have to do anything else to set this up, which is crazy, especially if you come from the world of MIDI Learn. You know how big a deal this is. Now, the quick overview is that on this model, we have faders and more buttons over here. You're not going to have these on the 25 or 37 mini or the 25 or 37 full size. This is exclusively over here a feature on the 49 and the 61 variants of the Launchkey 4. I'll get into that in a minute. First, let's focus on these 16 pads right here and what they do. Very simple. The blue is going to solo your track, and the yellow is going to mute your track. And basically, the columns correspond to your track. So this would be track 1, then this would be track 2, track 3, track 4, track 5, track 6, track 7, and track 8. Simple like that. Same over here. This would be track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4, track 5, track 6, so on and so forth. And if we hit arm select, now we are just selecting it when it turns white. When it turns red, we're actually arming it. You can access the same thing on these pads when you use the smaller launch keys. All you do is hit the function key and it'll toggle them where the top row or bottom row is white and red. And you have the same feature set there. So really cool. You can do it on both. Now, let me add some more tracks to this session because I feel like 2 tracks really isn't enough to emphasize all the things that are possible. So bear with me. Okay, so now I've added a bunch of tracks to my Cubase session, and now we can go to the arm select and just easily select whatever track we want. Also, playhead control, no problem. We've got that. We can hit the play button, we can hit the stop button, we can hit the record button, and we can hit the loop button right here. Now, as far as I know, capture MIDI, undo, redo, quantize, and metronome, these buttons here will not work with this setup in Cubase. I know we all wish these buttons would work, but hey, I look at this as a win all the way across the board. So now back to these pads right here. As you can see, I can go through, mute whatever I want. Okay, so I've muted a bunch of tracks, but those were just tracks 1 through 8 that I was able to mute. What if I want to go 9 through 16 or further than that? All you're gonna do is hit shift and then you're gonna hit track. And after you do that, you can now go further on your track list, which is really cool. So you have 8 on the front and you can just keep on cycling through your different channels and you are all good. And when doing that, the same also applies to your arm select section. So we can keep on selecting our tracks further down as we go. And then if we wanna get back to the first set, we just hit shift, track again, and now we're back on track 1. So very cool. And you can obviously arm as many tracks as you want, and you will have the light color of the buttons change to reflect that. Obviously, same here as well. Now, what else can we do with this setup? Let's go to the mixer. Now we've got our mixer open, and I'm gonna show you a couple cool things you can do with regard to the mixer with this controller as well. Right now, the encoders are in pan mode. So if I turn the encoder, as you can see, track 1 is panning. So I'll go ahead and select it to make that more clear. So you're able to get a really nice pan feature as you're doing your mix. Also, if we hit up on this button here next to the encoders, we're able to now control volume. And it just feels really high resolution, and it goes off of the speed of your turn. So if you turn slow, the volume takes its time. If you go fast, the volume jumps. As you can see, I'm just going through the different tracks in the mixer, and they are all responding to the corresponding encoder. And again, if we hit shift, we can easily access more than just those 8 encoder tracks. Same with panning, no problem. And what's also cool about this specific model, the 49 and the 61, is we can use our faders right here to do the exact same thing. Personally, I enjoy the encoder workflow better, but for those of you who like faders, there you are. And again, if we want to go back to accessing tracks 1 through 8, we just hit shift, track again, and there we are, able to control tracks 1 through 8. Very easy. Now that is the incredible HUI mode on this Launchkey 4 in conjunction with Cubasis, and I highly recommend this keyboard just overall in general. Even if Cubasis is not your DAW of choice, the way that they've scripted for it in different desktop DAWs and what's even possible on certain iOS groove boxes and DAWs is incredible. The scale mode is really cool. The chord map, the art. I mean, there's just so many cool things about this keyboard, even outside the HUI mode, that I highly recommend it. But I definitely think if you got this keyboard and you got Cubasis, you got to try out this workflow. It's been pretty game changing for me. But with all that said, I'm about to get out of here. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more videos of me cooking up in Cubasis, let me know down in the comments. What's your thoughts on this workflow? Let me know down in the comments. Do you own a Launchkey Mark IV? Do you own Cubasis? What are your thoughts? Let me know. With all that said, it's iPad Beatmaking. Peace.